Aftershock is in the top lane, and the ability to just heal right back up. It's just a great matchup.
Going to be excited to see it as we get here into game number 1 between LNG versus Dominus Esports.
So, it's going to be the Klepto for Chanhong in the top lane. Now, when I said matchup, I more so just mean, it's just difficult to push Flande out of lane no matter what on the pike. One thing I want to point out here, nice that we got to catch it, because usually when we come into these games, we're in, out of the graphics and everything. It's 50 seconds in. It's really hard to tell. Early ward that's on the Raptor camp for Xiaopeng. So, this is going to be a great thing for us to have a topic on, because if you put that ward in at 50 seconds, that actually fully catches out if you're doing a full clear on the bot side. So if you're doing red, Krugs, and then wrap around for Raptors, that ward will still exist and will still catch you. So it's a real focus and challenge on the enemy jungler. How much do they value getting caught up on that ward?
Of course, SofM has been really strong in the early pathing as well, so he'll know exactly what to do with that information if it's given to him by Xiaopeng. But they also have vision on their own red. A little bit of an engage here going down to the bottom lane in the early game. And we were talking about how there's a lot of sustain on that pike, but the fleet footwork on top of it and the Doran shield, Flande is refusing to get poked out.
Fleet footwork. I guess he just recognizes he's not going to get much of a range or Q on top of Chanhong in the matchup. So just trying to sustain up when he gets underneath tower. That's an interesting one. I have never seen a fleet footwork pike in my life.
We're going to get to see it today, Raz. A unique opportunity, and Mark taking so much damage. We're seeing the strength of the early game coming out here from the Kai'Sa and Nautilus.
And I also wonder where since he is going into Precision Tree, if he has himself Legends Tenacity, especially going up against both Ryze and Kennen in the lane, that he can get out of that once he's farmed up and everything pretty easily with extra Tenacity on top of him. So that's something that I think is equally impressive. Now take a look at this. We've been seeing a little bit of Trundle throughout the league. Legends Tenacity is another one that he's able to get himself here. Oh, there we go. So we're seeing Ghost Wards here in Domination secondary, so that's going to be nice to see. That just makes it so he has extra vision, and something that's really... Here's a complaining Raz for you.
I'm ready for it.
The change that they did to that one in particular is that when you have those Ghost Wards up, they actually give you those adaptive pluses. So basically you have more stats, more attack stats, just by how many you have up there. In fact, they buffed it so if it sees a champion, it's added by 2. So that's going to be good extra AD stats that he would have for himself if he has a lot of wards that are or ghost wards that are still up and available on the map.
Xiaopeng sitting down here in the bottom lane, but LNG playing carefully enough that they don't really have to worry about that gank. Now he will complete the back. SofM going to be spotted out here by Chanhong as well.
The reason why I don't like it is just because it's just an invisible damage on the map. You don't know, if you're the enemy team, you don't know how many ghost wards are on the field. Chanhong certainly knows he's getting ganked.
Good flash there. Flande coming in with a follow-up, forcing the flash from Chanhong. That's a lot of damage, but they won't be able to find the kill.
Yeah, was holding on to his chomp there. Didn't think he had the damage on him, but was able to push Chanhong out of lane.
Just really didn't have the damage, no electrocute there on Flande. So not going to have a whole lot for that gank, but it will force Chanhong out, force the teleport out of him as well as Xiaopeng picks up the top side Scuttle Crab. And does look like it's going to be possibly the Gunblade first there for Chanhong.
Yep, it seems like that's going to be the case. We'll say that, I mean, I like Gunblade just because he needs to be put on side lane for the most part anyways. That's been the discussion we've had for Dominus during the champion select. With the Kennen added, if he goes AP and he sees himself going up against the Flande here, that he should just be finding himself 1-3-1, splitting as much as possible. You have the Sivir to have that wave clear. And if there's ever a fight being picked up, Mark has himself the Galio. Post 6 is going to be able to get a lot of good work down. So I think Dominus has a great composition here that they can play around.
Of course, Mark's Galio last split was probably his strongest champion, something like 83% win rate on that one over 11 games. Absolutely ridiculous numbers he put out. And having him get it again in the split is exciting if you're a fan of Dominus.
Yeah, certainly. Now, a lot of people will take a look at those stats and say, well, Galio was just a broken champion in the spring split. Every support wanted to get their hands on them. But one thing I really enjoyed about Mark in his use as Galio was that how they played around Baron fronts. Whenever Baron was being like danced around, he would be in the greatest position to flank, charging up his taunt, getting the flash off. For a new team in the league, that's something that you don't generally see.
Oh, here's an engage in the mid lane. Pop Blossom flashed away by Twila. He's trying to run out of there. He's got the move speed for now, but a good pillar there by SofM. With the damage coming in from Xiaopeng, they will get the first blood, but how much longer will SofM survive? Not much as the trade kill comes over from Xiaopeng.
All right, but having your mid laner still be up and alive to shove this one out, I would give that one over to LNG.
We're going to be happy with that one, of course. Plex going to be able to recover a little bit of that CS deficit. Should be able to shove that one in all the way now.
My concern is always going to be, if there's going to be a snowballing Olaf or not. So the extra kill that he has is always going to be a point of concern. Certainly, SofM, if he ever sees him in a dark alley, is going to walk the other direction. Thankfully, he has flash, so he can be a little bit faster. But yeah, I think right now, just the fact that we had to see the base off of it just to start it off, to be able to get the pick on Twila. Twila does find himself with a great flash away, but Xiaopeng just does a heaps amount of damage. So certainly the moment SofM sees him, like, all right, there's no way I'm getting out of this one alive.
Just go for the aggression there. And
Speaking
meanwhile, during the replay, Raz, one of your favorite things, there was a kill during the top lane. Flande picked that one up.
I despise replays, just for anyone out there. There's just so much that you miss. One of the greatest things of pro views is that you get to see people come back onto the map, which is so crucial to vision control, so crucial like lane assignments. And in this case, someone died. So we're going to have to see the replay of what we missed during the replay.
There
and
it is.
So like that's just it was going to happen. So I'm currently looking at nothing. But now you're seeing Chanhong getting jumped on. And that's literally what we would have expected. And now out of the replay, we're seeing a fight.
Oh my god, it never ends, Raz. The flash away from Mark forced by the bottom lane of LNG. They're going to be happy with that one because they didn't have to expend a thing for it.
But Twila died.
What? How did it?
Look, I don't know what's happening out there, but these teams are not only bloodthirsty, but none of us can catch it. And by none of us, I mean, people in the back. But I just think that we'll have to see through another replay, the R word, the dreaded R word, how Twila actually died, because that's given now 2 kills over to Nico, has a gold bounty for herself, and is able to pick up a lost chapter throughout all that. So that's a rich Nico that is actually now stacking quite a bit. So let's take a look at this one through the replay, everybody. This is just a pretty easy game. Trundle Pillar just does so much, and the slow is low-key, just OP. The slow that comes down from Trundle Pillar is going to make any poke possible. And in that case, the Q is so much easier to land from Flande.
Now, hopefully, Twila has learned his lesson, getting taken down for the second time. But Flande in the top side, he hasn't finished his Tiamat yet, instead opting for the Moby Boots first.
Yeah, because everybody knows what a Pyke plans to do. I remember seeing mid laners who are completely frustrated about Pyke mid, Fizz mids. Like a lot of these mid laners that their whole job and purpose is to roam. So he's just trying to farm up underneath tower, and he's gonna expect that Xiaopeng and Chanhong doesn't dive him. And if he gets all of that, then he's gonna pay a visit mid lane like you saw in the last replay. Perhaps, depending on the play, bot side of the map. Much like how Wonder played out the MSI play, he is trying to group up with his team to get these skirmishes.
SofM's here. They may be able to spot out Dominus.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, Mark making a roam up from the bottom lane, but they will get spotted out here. Oh, here comes Flande.
Even more people.
It's going to be a full-on fight, but Plex not going to find the Tangle Barb, so I think this one's done.
Yeah, the moment every person has been revealed, there is no way a fight's even happening. So everyone gets caught out, but take a look at Pyke. That's actually just a full swap from LNG, putting their dual lane up in the top lane. This was started out by Dominus, actually. And to do this, to start this one off, Usually the purpose is to go for Rift Herald. Guess who gets caught out?
It's going to be Mark Raz. He's having a whole lot of problems. He's got the stopwatch for now, but so much damage coming in from Asura to take him out.
I love the fact that Li Ning just caught it. LNG realized that was the play that was going to come through. They swap as well, and now the Rift Herald play, you would assume that's what with Dominus were going for, gets completely shut out.
Now Xiaopeng maybe looking for a gank here. He knows he hasn't been spotted out using the scanner there. GALA not in a whole lot of danger under tower just yet. Has been shoved in. Can throw out a little poke, but not going to find anything.
Expect this to be a little bit of a slower game. Not only because GALA and the Sivir going through the whole crit build on Essence Reaver, but this week we got ourselves a good mana immune game on Kai'Sa. I talked about this being like the pick I expected to see on GALA, but it also just is in the same wheelhouse for Asura. So great composition for LNG when they're grouping. I actually think there's no way for Dominus to win out in just grouped up 5v5 team fights. Even if GALA comes and helps out, let's say the usual typical meme where the like 4 or 5 item spike Sivir, then you have to worry about all of the dive possibilities with Flande as well. So depending on how the Pyke plays this one out in ultra late game, I expect this to go in favor of LNG.
And LNG are going to have a few opportunities to be able to force those 5-on-5s because right now the Rift Herald's still up. They've rotated their bot lane up there to have eyes on that. But the next dragon's going to be an Infernal, and that's going to be a pretty heavily contested one.
Yeah, certainly. We already have dragons being stacked up by LNG. So even though we saw them initially group up to play around Rift Herald, I wonder if we start seeing LNG rotate their dual lane back bottom lane and start to trade this one out. I guess they're not going to have the timing on this one. Dominus is starting up.
Rift Herald down to half HP at this point. Looks like LNG are trying to respond. Might be able to find Twila there. The slow coming in from the Glacial Augment. Plex will find the bind as well. This could turn into a full-on team fight. Duan wants to go in. He didn't know all four were there. The teleport coming in as well from the side. LNG. Plex not going to be able to find the Plot Blossom. Chanhong comes in with the ultimate slicing Maelstrom. Won't get the kills, but they will find a shutdown on the backline. Chanhong barely survives. Asura using the flash there, and LNG lose 2 and find none.
This is what happens when you're 12 minutes into the game and absolutely no one has damage. Like, you saw the Kennen ultimate coming through with little effectiveness. You even saw Asura thinking he can assassinate the Kennen off of all of that. He was like, well, actually, I just don't have the damage either. So, full committal from everybody. I just think the initial engage from the Nautilus was just expecting too much. Didn't have too many members there at the time. The positioning of both SofM and Plex would not be able to take advantage of it. And so the ultimate was just useless, including this one. I was surprised that it even got Mark at all.
I was honestly surprised that he used it because he'd already used the slow, but Asura, you can see, tries to go for the assassination, as we mentioned, and that time with the DPS away from the fight means LNG found nothing in the rest of it.
Now, a great point to talk about, if we're just talking about pure team fighting, I don't know about this one, Flande.
Oh, he does find the stun, though, and here comes SofM as well. So Flande may have made the big brain decision here. Teleport forced out by Dominus. Now Flande and SofM are going to be on the back foot. The stun goes down onto Flande. Here comes the Realm Warp. Flande's invisible, flashes away, but Twila's there to follow, and he picks up the kill.
All right, great play from Dominus to just stop it right at the beginning. Like, Twila comes in immediately, teleport used, ultimate as well, just to trap the entire play from Flande. That's how hard it is for LNG. LNG usually struggles versus double teleport teams. Teams that try and have that defensive turtle, because LNG as a squad has primarily been a team that just strikes quickly, tries to always be as proactive as humanly possible. At times you start seeing them, certain spurts of the split, they're trying to be a lot slower, methodical. You know, the coach tries to instill that upon them. But players like Flande and SofM will always look for the play, and so they get caught out by Twila just having the teleport available.
Like you said, damage was a factor there too. No one still has damage, so you can't expect to immediately assassinate someone, and not being aware of the teleports is going to sink you with that one. So far, Dominus getting away with the early game with the turret platings. Yeah,
and 480 gold. A lot of that is just on, Chanhong. Chanhong already picking himself up like the Gunblade immediately. That effective goal that he has for himself now starts to make this harder for Flande. Flande already made the attempt at the play and is falling a little bit behind. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to stay in that lane matchup.
Bright side, though, for LNG has the Q evolve there picked up by Asura with the Mana Moon, the Pickaxe, and the Doran's Blade. so he's going to have a little bit more damage on his end.
That's going to be nice. I mean, I'm always happy about that. It's the best thing about the buff that it was actually able to give. Cost effective, able to get to your Q pretty easily. Moment you get to your Rage Blade, then you have your E as well, so it's a lot of damage that you're able to get later on in the game. Pretty cheap early on as well.
Plex should be able to wave clear this one, but he had a really strong lead in the early game, 2-0 with the CS lead, but now completely even between him and Twila at this point.
It's just how they're able to play through mid-jungle. Because you saw in the last fight, they tried to push it a little bit faster than they should have. And I just mean Duan in this instance. Being there to pick up the fight, knowing that Twila was in a pretty bad position. But they hard engaged before the poke. Extra damage was even applied. So it's harder. Right now I would give it to Dominus in team fights, even though I'm talking up LNGs later on their team fight strong. Just because the Galio's effectiveness in the fight, both the taunt and the ultimate, is just way too strong.
Well, they're looking for a little bit of a pick there in the top side of the map, but won't be able to find it, which means if they try and fight around this Rift Herald, it will be a 5v5, Raz.
Yeah, well, no, 5v4. Kennen doesn't have teleport, and he's not going to be a part of the play. That's why LNG can be so confident about going for this. I love the fact that Dominus is not even trying for it.
Dominus instead going to be focusing on the mid and bottom lane towers. Of course, no towers have gone down yet, so still get the first tower.
So
Duan
close.
Not going to be able to find the dredge line, though.
2 hooks. They couldn't get him either. So Dominus getting the shove in mid, allowing for Chanhong to get the full turret in the bottom side of the map. It's good patience from Dominus, sure, but they still have to respond to the eventual Rift Herald from LNG.
We'll be able to pick up the bottom lane tower off the back of that, though, and Chanhong does have the Gunblade already, so he's going to have a little bit more power in the 1v1, a little bit more sustain on his hand. But Flande still hasn't picked up any more items either.
So this is an interesting play. I wonder if SofM places the Rift Herald down, because at this point, you're thinking about the future. If you place the Rift Herald down here, you're saying that someone from Dominus have to be able to hold the top lane wave with the Rift Herald involved. You can immediately move that pressure towards your mid lane, start a siege when Dominus is effectively a man down in members. They don't go for that. They end up going for soft bases here, but that was an idea that was crossing their mind.
They've still got time to figure out what they want to do with the Rift Herald, however. Only a quarter of the cooldown has gone down, so mid and bot towers both still available on the outer side of the map.
And remember, it's post 14, so at this point, the purpose of the Rift Herald is purely to take down the turret, not for the effective gold. Turret plating has already been erased off of it. It's no longer an issue. So that's going to be a issue that I'm currently looking at. Right now, LNG need to act. The fact that Rai is looking for this tower while not having teleport available, like the teleport play has been in a major advantage for LNG. They should start looking for something.
Chanhong going to be spotted out by Duan, and that means the entirety of LNG is coming for him. There goes Plex, there goes the kill. Slicing Maelstrom not going to be able to save him, but Dragon's not up just yet.
But these are long death timers now. 30 seconds on Chanhong while they're all on the map, not needing to base. I would say that LNG would need to take this opportunity to look for a mid lane play.
And they're going to do it. GALA there, going to be wave clearing out. A lot of move speed. Great pillar there from SofM.
When did Sivers, when could she start going through terrain? I feel like that ability I should have been told about. Someone should have been able to hit me up with a patch note. You even saw a question mark ping from Dominus saying, how did that actually happen? But yes, it can phase you through depending on where the pillar was placing you. Either you are stuck there and you have to take the long way around, but GALA was graced by the gods.
Pretty lucky on that one, but Mark may not be as lucky. Asura goes in for the assassination, but Aftershock still has the defenses for him. Duan getting pretty low. Twila not able to find the kill. The stopwatch is going to save him for the time being. Flande stalls out, gets the stun. Duan flashed out, gets the kill down by Twila. And now Realm Warp still coming in. Asura, he's in trouble. Not going to be able to find it just yet, but there's the double kill. Pop Blossom onto Twila. Should be able to take him out. GALA going in. Here comes Mark. He's down. Gets taken out. Xiaopeng, Chanhong getting chased down. But LNG don't look like they want the re-engage, but it's not their choice at this point. Plex going to fall next. Xiaopeng coming down with the damage, but Flandre's the one to find the kill. What is happening in this team fight? What's happening is Flandre is going to have to run away. He's still searching for Chanhong. He gets the assassination, and GALA will take him out, but I think Flandre can be happy with that one.
What the hell, Dominus? Well, okay. Everybody.
What the hell, both
Everybody. Let's share this blame. So it all starts out with, a play from LNG. Rail Trail gets played. My eyes dart specifically towards Asura, actually, because he was the one that got greedy. He's their damage. Why did he isolate himself from the rest of his team? He can no longer come with him because he noticed that Chanhong is essentially waiting for him. So there's your problem. Now Dominus takes this part of the blame. Because you have a great moment. You can push through mid lane. Let's just say Rise sacrifices himself. Take that sacrifice. Why is Galio coming in? What part of this fight do you want? And you had 30% HP. Where's your brain at? So they come right back mid. They take that L. And this is when you can start celebrating Flande. Because Flande actually plays this one out well. Other than queuing Olaf over to begin with, he ends up getting the assassination point here. Of course, it's just a pain in the butt to ever try and take down a Pyke at this stage, but Chanhong knows he's a mark, so he accepts his fate.
GALA picks up the kill, so he's going to have a little bit more gold in his pocket as well, but Flande playing that one pretty nicely, gets himself to 5-2-1 and picks up the Dust Blade on top of it.
Yeah, I think he was probably the only one that played that one passively. Like, that was just a fun fight, but these teams got to stop playing. You got to stop playing. From this point forward, though, if we're gonna, refocusing here, I like the fact that Dominus has placed himself exactly where you'd expect. I mean, GALA going straight through mid, giving time once again to Chanhong to shove out this wave. He does need to base a wave earlier, though. Can't try and focus on the inner turret because he doesn't have teleport. So good recognition there. If you're gonna place anyone back in the bottom lane, it should be Rise.
Twila still does have his teleport available, so he'd be able to join any fights he looks for. You keep Chanhong up in the top lane towards the Baron. Happy times for Dominus Gaming. But now LNG trying to claw this one back after that last confusing fight. However, at least Asura has picked up his second item here.
Yeah, but I mean, great. The fact that he was able to get the Muramana already stacked up, so that's great. That's perfect. But GALA has done him a little bit better. So it's already moving towards the Infinity Edge. Has 260 CS 22 minutes into the game. 3 kills at this point. He has so much gold that he has 700 gold bounty with just the 3 kills that he has. So, like, he is the richest man on the map currently. So, while I'm impressed that Asura's got his second item, GALA's thinking about his third. So, right now, Dominus has put themselves in a great part of the map with the gold lead that they have.
You just wave clear forever there with that Sivir already getting there.
Colonel agrees.
Yeah, Colonel's feeling this one, thinking 60% for Dominus, but there is still a chance for LNG to come back if they're able to find a magical team fight. But the problem is you got to take down GALA.
Definitely do. I think that's going to be something hard to do from LNG's perspective unless, and here's the big question mark, because I did say that the team fight should be much better from LNG, Flande ends up getting that crucial pick. There is so much pick potential here. We used to talk about Hook City comps. This is that, like the new version of that we've been starting to see in the meta since Pyke has been relevant. So if they can get those multiple picks, and I'm talking about getting the pick on Mark, on Twila or Xiaopeng, Olaf is going to have a significantly harder time later on in the game trying to deal with the Trundle and the Nautilus frontliners. So the game is slowly going to start moving in favor of LNG's team fighting, as I had mentioned. But I'm loving the fact that Dominus is playing this one a slower paced game to give Chanhong the time he needs. Because usually, anyone out there actually has watched Dominus in the past, have seen how quickly they play these games. Chanhong is not the type of person to be sitting still. There was a reason why they were hovering Sion, because on cooldown, he just runs at him. But the fact that they're playing slower showcases that they've understood that to be a core weakness that they've had in playoff time. And they're starting to, trying to chip at it.
Chanhong has picked up his second item at the very least, but his mid laner's working on 3, as is his AD carry, who just completed the Infinity Edge, so GALA's going to be doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah. Right now, he has that protection of Changhong's top watch, so if there's ever a fight to happen, you do have that one team fight where Kennen can be a frontliner. We're not getting completely blasted down.
They're not going to find it just yet, though. Split push is coming out, but this time it's going to be from LNG, the 1-3-1 from Dominus. Not quite happening yet.
Yes, teleport, but he doesn't want his team to lose too much ground around Baron. That's his major concern. So as long as he can push and roam, just so he has someone matching that wave, as you can see Rise picking it up now, then LNG's happy with the game state. They still need this mid lane turret. This mid lane turret is actually crucial for LNG right now. So they can actually get pincer control wards that they've been picking up, but in the blue side jungle, if they can get it on the left quadrant on the map, then suddenly the pick potential they have is much easier to get down.
It's so hard for them to contest this, though, against GALA's wave clear. So unless they can force him out of the way, how do you even take that one down?
You said force, and you know that's a favorite word that LNG loves to hear. Team fight at any place, anytime, any place, doesn't matter where.
5v5 me noob. The old classic call.
They even have the extra slows if you're looking at Nico's build right now. It's something that you need to talk about is the GLP, the ghosties. Easy to pick up fights if people are pushing too far past the mid lane. So we'll have to see if that's ever going to be an opportunity for Dominus to push in and get picked out by Plex.
So Mountain Drake has just spawned, though, so LNG might be looking to contest this one. They have everyone on the map.
We'll have to see. That's really difficult. GALA has Infinity Edge, so he has his 3 items already. This is the strongest you're going to see in the matchup right now for GALA. He's going to look for this fight.
Should be able to find it if they get the chase down. There's on the hunt. He's got the damage, but that slow from Plex is absolutely disgusting. Stops the push coming in from Dominus. But Flande, he still wants more. He's going to get the stun onto Xiaopeng.
He doesn't want to go too low with, you know, the Pyke's ultimate still up and available. But let's take a look at who was leading that fight. Who was charging forward? The Sivir is like, don't worry about this. Let me get my crits down, though.
Did do pretty well, but that time forced down to the fight at the Drake did allow LNG to take down the mid lane tower, so now they do have that freedom you were talking about to ward up that blue side blue buff quadrant.
But I still love that trade from Dominus. Like, Dominus still has now both Mountain and Infernal Dragon, so gotta have to wonder how LNG is going to play this one out. Next one's going to be Infernal. You're going to have to fight for that one. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, so LNG is going to have to play towards mid and bot side. There is a strategy that some teams have utilized. So I think, what's a good one? Vici have done this. Certainly Dominus has done this a few times. So this is why the threat's available, where if a team is focused so much on the bottom side of the map as repurposing all their control wards to round Dragon, and Baron is still up, at this point in the game too, with Mountain Dragon there for Dominus, maybe they say, to hell with the Infernal Dragon. We're just going to try and rush down Baron when they have no vision in the area. So there are options there for Dominus.
Flande going to be able to get a successful split push, though. That will be the final outer tower taken down by LNG. So the map's pretty open for both teams here. No outers remaining. Baron up on the field, but once that Infernal comes on, we're going to have to watch for how both teams play it. But LNG coming in. Flande engages with the ultimate. Here comes Asura trying to get the damage down, but Twila so tanky, barely gets taken down in the end, and now Asura versus Chanhong. The pull from Flande is good, but it's not good enough. Asura has to flash out. Nothing going to save you there from the top laner of Dominus.
That's tough, but the teleport was used to get the kill down on Asura. You're starting to see Dominus start to push up mid.
They have the wave clear to just instantly take out those waves with GALA there. He's got another BF sword on top of it, so he has so much AD, easily able to take down that mid lane inner.
Once again, that's the second play we've seen this game, where LNG have been proactive in trying to cut up the side lane. So when you see Rise push up bot side of the map, they're like, all right, let's double up on them. In fact, Asura can get the job done the quickest, but not fast enough because the teleport from Chanhong is still there to counteract the play. We've seen this done time again versus LNG. It's hard for them to get themselves a significant difference. Here comes that Baron play.
Dominus, though, they don't even wait. They know LNG have vision, but they think they can take this fight. On the Huntsman pops. Xiaopeng might get taken out, though. He has to use the Ragnarok. The engage comes in. Plex tries to zone out. Duan, so incredibly low, gets taken out by Twila. And now LNG, are they going to find the re-engage? Xiaopeng too low to keep the fight going. Playing
the tightrope game. Remember, Flande has his ultimate up, but he doesn't want to use it just then on towards Xiaopeng because that's just 1-for-1. That's just a trade for a trade. If they get 2 people, though, that low, then it's a go signal for him to start getting resets, the splash damage, or at least like the AoE damage that would move on towards the other members that are not in execute range would be effective there too. But it wasn't close enough. In fact, that's when Dominus pulled away from the plate, retreated to begin with. So let's take a look at the initial play. They get on top of Twila. The teleport comes down immediately. And so they can get the kill now on Asura. He thought he could try and get it on towards Flande with how low he was, but he just dips out of the play, so I have nothing to do with this. No AD carry available on LNG. Makes it easier for Dominus to start to push the play through mid.
AD carry is back up now, but GALA has finished his 4 items. He's looking pretty spiked in terms of power there. He's got the Guardian Angel, so even if LNG are able to find a way to take down GALA the first time, there's a lot they're going to have to dive through.
There's not a lot Dominus can do right now. They don't have many control wards. Actually, Mark is the only one that still has them in his pockets. And if you look at Baron, there are a lot of red wards from LNG that just catches out Dominus. So that just means there's going to be a standstill until you start seeing more control wards picked up by Dominus and red trinkets available. Right now, there's a red trinket available by Xiaopeng, but they're already coming back onto the map. So they're already losing the wards that they already had.
All the wards been placed there by LNG, but it looks like some backs are going to be coming out there from Duan specifically. On the bottom side of the map, we're looking at it. The Infernal's about to spawn as well. So the question is where the teams are going to focus. We've seen Dominus go for the Baron once. Will they try and take it again?
This is difficult. That LNG has been the team that has the top side control rather than the bot side control. It's going to make it so much harder for them to contest around that dragon. So we'll see. Dominus has chose their side. They're going to be on the left side of the map.
Flande looking for the hook, won't be able to find it. The pillar already used as well by SofM to try and zone out. Just dancing on the side, and Plex, a preemptive flag.
Interesting, interesting. Gonna be harder for him. He still has his ultimate though, so still some great engage points from him.
Should have the GLP up as well available to give him a little bit of slow, little bit of zoning potential.
You need mid lane shove here. The next wave is going to be so important. Sivir needs to stay mid, fully push this one out, and make the call of which objective they really want. Dragon's the easier one, and you get double Infernal. I'm surprised they're consistently moving towards the left side of the map where they don't have the wards. They knew that was cleared out by LNG. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they forgot that they all based at one point. So here we go. The hell?
Dominus just going to clear out the wards. Are they actually just going to
start
start
going
this?
For it.
Yeah, all right. Dominus, this might be the last play you're going to make this game. LNG, they're wise to this. Why wouldn't they be at this point? Dominus forced off.
Now they've lost mid lane control. It's so much easier now for LNG to fully shove this one out, move towards Dragon, keep some members around the mid lane so they can defend a possible Baron. Dominus played themselves. They literally could have just pushed mid and roamed towards the bottom side of the map and then contested Baron, but they lost their... Okay, what?
All right. Well, looks like it's going to be the Baron attempt coming in from Dominus, and Asura's not here.
We talked about this, but I didn't expect this kind of burn on the Baron.
That was incredibly quick, just like 10 seconds, if even that. LNG looking for a fight. They're trying to find it. Plex gets the zone down onto Twila. He has to flash away. Chanhong still here on the flank, but he gets spotted out. Depth charge going to land on him. Duan going to take the brunt of it. He gets taken down as a result, but LNG, Pop Blossom comes out. They're able to pick off one. The GA has been popped. Flande finds one. Can he find the ult there onto Xiaopeng? The flash is out. Asura still alive, still pumping out damage. Takes down Mark. Xiaopeng still alive on the flank, but instead they're going to take out GALA's Guardian Angel. They need to find this follow-up kill. They will be able to take him down. 1,000 gold in Asura's pocket, but 2 members remain with the Baron buff on Dominus.
Yeah, they could have had a little bit more. I'm sad that they decided to choose the fight rather than to let the people that got caught go. Take a look at this. I was like, this is a good play from LNG. They get Infernal Dragon, and they're able to respond to the play. But yeah, Mountain Dragon, Sivir, Rise, had so much burn on Baron to start with. Twila was let go, should have been. But you see Chanhong ready to turn the play. Great ward in the pit to be able to catch him up, so he had no ways to get on SofM, Asura, and Flande. Take a look at the reset that Flande was setting up for. So many members in blinking HP bars was able to get this one. Great flash from Xiaopeng though. If he had hit that, then the rest of Dominus would have been completely cleared out. Because not only is it great execute, great repositioning tool so you're that much closer to the backline. So there we go. Great team fight from LNG. Even better Baron pickup from Dominus.
Now Dominus will still have the Baron buff on 2 members for the next 2 minutes, but LNG have the triple Drakes. They did pick up the Infernal, tying that one up. So the advantage for Dominus is in the mountain.
Already take a look at the side lane. Top lane wave is huge. Someone has to respond to that one. You already see Pyke dealing with it. Bottom lane wave is being tended to by Chanhong. This is a great setup from Dominus. If they throw this somehow, I'm out. Like it's so hard at this point to throw away this kind of advantage.
Raz, that's what you were probably thinking game 1 versus Invictus Gaming. So we got to be careful here when it comes to Dominus.
I'm out. I'm gone. Plane ticket already ordered.
Well, hopefully Dominus won't be throwing this one. They don't have the Baron buff down for this bottom wave, but they're not going to need it. Able to take that one out pretty quickly. GALA, of course, almost there at that 6-item mark. Just has the second Zeal sitting in his inventory. But Asura has picked up the QSS as well. When his cleanse comes back up, he'll have a lot of safety in these team fights.
Oh, he's been slowed down. Easy. Oh, can Duan get the Q? Okay, not even going to try. They don't even want to take the fight. Makes a lot of sense. Remember, if you're thinking at a numbers advantage perspective, they don't have that. Twila still has his Realm Warp available. And if he's not in range, teleport with that he can just put on the wave. So that's the trick of Dominus' composition. They are always prepared for the fight. There's the Kennen with teleport, Twila with the Realm Warp, and then Mark, of course, with his Galio ultimate. So they can be on side lanes and immediately respond to someone getting picked off.
It's frustrating here for LNG because both teleports are still available. Both globals, semi-globals rather, still available. So they need to play a careful game. But what are they waiting for at this point? The Elder's coming up eventually, and the Baron buff's fallen off. How does LNG get back into this?
I mean, at this point, it's just off the same nutty fights we've been seeing, right? It really is based off of the Plex slow that he has. If he can get GLP on somebody, let's say Xiaopeng, who's going to try and stay in the front line, or Mark as an example, follow up with a hook. It has to be Duan's hook because Flande has to be invisible to the eye of the enemy team. Then you start working. Because if you take a look at Asura's items right now, he is stacked. He is fully loaded. Infinity Edge, Rage Blade, Muramana completely picked up. And if he gets taunted by Mark, he has the QSS. So front to back, I like it if LNG can get the fight rolling here.
There's the hook on a GALA. That's what you're looking for, plus the root to follow it up, but they won't be able to find the kill onto him. Hero's Entrance goes down to keep the 80 carry safe, but that's a lot of ultimates blown from Dominus.
GALA doesn't have much HP to his name.
Re-engage comes in from Duan. He's going to die for it, but can they find Mark? The ultimate from Flande is going to miss. He doesn't have that reset for the rest of the fight. Chanhong going to find an ultimate of his own, but will not land onto many people. Asura still alive. LNG keep everyone except for Duan.
We're on that tightrope right now. As LNG want this fight. It's hard, but they have the wave.
Support for support traded so far. The rest is a 4 versus 4. No Guardian Angel available on GALA. The slow is going to do a little bit from Plex. There's no follow-up for them, so Dominus will be able to stop the push, losing only a tower.
This is such a hard game. At this point, the only thing stopping from LNG from full clearing these fights is how squishy their frontliners are, particularly Flande, right? You even saw how Duan just got wasted by the Rise and Sivir. And another point too, Asura is still a mid-range champion. Like, if he walks up to the Kennen ultimate, okay, he has to take a step back. He has to reset the fight. Take a look at how it all began, because Sivir got pretty blasted. Like, the fact that he was able to still reposition with his flash, God bless. He would have lost his team at least inhibitor off that one. But you continue to move forward. The taunt comes through, pushes Kai'Sa back. The Kennen ultimate comes through, continues to push Kai'Sa back, so she can't take the fight. So there's so much room and space to still work with GALA.
If Flande had been able to get that reset as well, that may have been a very, very different fight there for GALA. But he did play it admirably. He's now 6 items, still able to keep up in these fights.
Just so hard to really penetrate the range that you have here from Dominus. So really concerned for how LNG can open these fights. But with more items coming through, Duan is getting more healthy. Okay.
Duan going to have to use the depth charge defensively. Now, it's important to note, Dominus have GAs available on both their AD carry and jungle at this point.
That's big. Are they going to trade objectives? Knowing that Xiaopeng doesn't have the HP, they can pick up the Elder Dragon and then start booking it towards Baron.
All right, they're already starting it up. GALA has a ton of damage, so they'll be able to take this one down quickly, but LNG wants to trade for the Elder at this point. They know the Baron's being taken, and they're just going to decide that's what they wanted.
Yeah, they're just going to leave it. They already have the stronger teamfight comp. Double Ocean and Infernal. At this point, they're going to say, Dominus, do what you want, right? Push these lanes into us. Try to meet us at our inner towers. We still will have this teamfight. We have multiple ways to engage. This has just come down to execution.
We have to wait and see how it's executed here. You have the 1-3-1 potential here from Dominus. They finally hit that point. They have the Baron buff, so this is what their composition was looking to do anyways. You put the pressure on the base of LNG.
So the double Zeal, I was wondering what the second Zeal item was going to be for GALA. If it was going to be the static shift for extra wave clear, that would be redundant because, you know, you're Sivir. Easily going to be the Phantom Dancer, so you have that extra bit of shield. We saw how low she was in the last fight. Going to need that one for the next one.
6 items completed for both AD carries now. Asura, of course, finishing the Mercurial Scimitar. 6 items on the mid laner. 6 items coming out for almost everyone across the board here on both teams. So these team fights are about how they're going to be for the rest of the game.
If this was EU or North America or Korea, you know what would happen?
A whole lot of waiting.
Well, yeah, technically, I mean, untrained eye. I would say Dominus would just put themselves on side lane and play this one slowly. They should play this one as slowly as possible. Put Rise top lane, Chanhong bottom lane. You have double teleport. There's nothing to worry about. GALA doesn't have to do anything. Just has to really be on wave duty. But we're in China. We're all grouped up now. Take a look at them. They're all saying, all right, converge. Everybody. Mid lane, let's go. What are we waiting for? I don't know.
And this is kind of especially, I'll say, flummoxing, Raz.
But look at the top lane wave. At least they have that one slow pushing. That's what they're waiting on. But remember, they could have just had a living body up there. But what they're trying to do is use the slow push top lane wave, so someone has to catch it, and then just look for a fight. It's all a scheme for that whole team fight. It's all a game, man.
I don't know if it's a game that Dominus are going to win, though. LNG have the Elder buff for the next 10 seconds. After that, Dominus' chances get significantly better.
Pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It's gone.
Yep.
All right, it's back to even footing. But that's really got to be frustrating for LNG. But also Dominus, they haven't accomplished a whole lot with the Baron buff so far. LNG didn't get anything done with the Elder, but if they're able to stall this one out, I think LNG will be happy.
Take a look at the movements now. At this point now, LNG has to do something. Right now, the red side jungle is getting control warded out by Mark. Really well done so they don't get flanked. We'll have to see how long this goes for. Rise is deeply in the mid lane. Maybe he teleports on the wave. We'll have to see what Dominus' call here is.
Flandre's in the bot lane still. He has the teleport available, but he's just going to go for the recall for the time being. They need to defend this tower. Baron buff still 30 seconds remaining.
Fully pushing this one out in the mid lane. They need to wait on the Rise's shove so they can act. They cannot get picked out, or poked at, I mean, by SofM's Trundle Pillar. Here we go. Here's the pressure.
Is going to land with 10 seconds left on the Baron buff. It may be too little too late here from Dominus, but doesn't look like it. That's going to be the Realm Warp coming in. Not going to bring any minions, but it will bring destruction for the inhibitor. LNG, are they going to respond with a full fight? Looks like they might get picked off there on the Flandre, but a lot of return damage onto Xiaopeng. That may be Flandre's cue to go in. He's looking for it, but that's still a GA on Xiaopeng. I don't think you want that, Flandre.
So close. Changhong's gotten picked out here.
Gonna Zhonya's the Tangle Barbs. Here comes Mark. He has the taunt available. Good depth charge to dissuade the engage. Mark has to flash out, but that spells trouble for Chanhong. Asura picked him up. Asura goes real deep. He's looking for GALA. He's gonna find the GA. Finds Mark as well. Oh, great taunt timing, but Flandre gonna find the reset. LNG, they're just gonna wipe the fight at this point. The Pop Blossom comes in. Twila flashes away, but Xiaopeng should go down in the back of this unless he makes the miracle escape. But no, regardless, it is at least a 3-for-0 in favor of LNG.
50-second death timer on GALA. If I've seen enough LNG games, I know that they're gunning for a game-ending fight here. Duan is just wasting the time of Xiaopeng. That's crazy that this is how the game ends.
LNG, they're going to take down the inhibitor tower, going to take down the inhibitor. They've already dropped the mid laner of Dominus. So now this is just their victory lap. LNG looking to continue their undefeated streak as they take down game number 1 versus Dominus Esports.
What did I say? Why did you have to group? Why are we grouping?